right, we are on constant of proportionality. We're splitting it up again like we did last time. Tables first, then graphs. We're on page 45, set up for a warm-up and a vocabulary. All right, your warm-up. You've got 4 questions. Each one looks like it's talking about unit rates. Okay, please make sure you solve them. And then always remember checking your answer in the handy dandy spreadsheet. All right, your learning goal. We're going to determine the constant of proportionality from a table and then write about how you know if a relationship is proportional or not. All right, your vocabulary. You have 2 words. Please get both of these written down. You've got proportion, and of course this is something we have talked about. It's 2 equivalent ratios in an equation. I'll give you an example here. The big one we're looking at today is constant of proportionality. It's a ratio between 2 variables that doesn't change. And we're going to use this equation today to find the constant of proportionality. Okay, we're really going to focus in on that. My constant of proportionality equals y divided by x. All right, let's look at example A. Please make sure you go to your note page. Example A, it says Marcy is a photographer. The table below shows the profit based upon the number of pictures. Do the numbers in the table represent a proportional relationship? If so, write the equation. So I want to know, does it represent a proportional relationship? And if so, we want to write the equation. And I'm going to show you how we're going to find all of that. Okay, so to find a proportional relationship from a table, you're going to use the equation k equals y divided by x. This is my constant of proportionality. And what's awesome is you can also find this on your math chart for when you're taking tests. Okay, so we've got y and x, and we just want to divide them. Okay, so let's look at the first one. It says my y is 24. And I want to divide that by the x, which is 3. And that gives me 8. Well, I got to check the rest of them to make sure it's 8. Okay, so my y is 32. And I want to divide that by 4. 32 divided by 4 gives me 8. Okay, now I know you're thinking, well, they're both 8. It's got to be proportional. Make sure you check them all. Okay, next one. My y is 40. My x is 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Okay, let's check the last one just in case, because sometimes they change it up. All right, my y is 48. Divided by my x, which is 6. Okay, 48 divided by 6 gives me 8. So my constant of proportionality, each time when we did y divided by x, it gave us a constant of proportionality of 8. All right, anytime you write an equation after you find your constant of proportionality, you're going to write it as follows. It's going to be y equals the constant of proportionality times x. Okay, and you're going to fill in for k because that's what you found. Okay, so our equation is going to be y equals 8 times x. So this tells me, let's write it in simpler terms, this tells me that the profit, which is my y value, equals 8 times the number of pictures, which is represented by x. So I find my profit by doing 8 times the number of pictures. But we simplify it by writing y equals 8 times x. All right, let's do another one. Example B. The table shows the cost of a massage based upon the number of minutes. Do the numbers in the table represent a proportional relationship? If so, write the equation. All right, again, we've got an x value and a y value, and we want to find if it's got a constant of proportionality. So y divided by x. And we've got to check each one. Okay, so 60 divided by 185. All right, so this one looks a little yucky. So the easiest thing to do when you have a proper fraction is to just simplify it. So we're going to simplify it down, okay? And I can divide both of these by 5. Okay, so there's several ways you can check this. All right, so 60 divided by 5. Again, if you don't know this off the top of your head, go put it in a division box so you can solve it. All right, 60 divided by 5 gives me 12. And then 185 divided by 5. Okay, and I'm going to show you. Okay, it goes in, let's see here, 3 times. And 5 can go into 35 7 times. All right, so this gives me 12 over 37. So the others that I do have got to simplify to this as well for it to be proportional. All right, 115 is my y, so I'm going to put that in the top. 115 is my y over x, which is 235. Okay, so they both end in 5. I'm just going to simplify it. Okay, see what it gives me. So 115 divided by 5. So let's see here, that is 2. That is 3 over 235 divided by 5. All right, so that is, let's see here, 4. And that is 7. Okay, so I've checked the first 2. And already I can see that there is no constant of proportionality, so I'm going to put none. All right, so I'm done with that one. All right, example C. It says Andy planted a tree and tracked its growth. Sorry, I forgot the end there. The table below shows the height compared to the number of years. Do the numbers in the table represent a proportional relationship? If so, write the equation. Okay, again, I've got an x column, I've got a y column. And I want to go in and check their constant of proportionality. Do they have one? So k equals y divided by x. Okay, so my first y value is 12.5. Over my first x value is 5. Okay, so because this is improper, I'm just going to divide this like I normally would, unlike the last one. Okay, so let's see here. 5 can go into 12 twice. And then 5 can go into 25 5 times. All right, so we're looking for the rest of them to be 2.5. Okay, so my next one is, my y is 25 over 10. Okay, so if I do 25 divided by 10, 10 can go into 25 twice. Okay, well, I don't want a remainder, so I'm going to put a decimal down and bring down my 0. Always remember to do that. 10 can go into 55 times. This one is also 2.5. Okay, so let's check the next one. My y is 37.5 over the x is 15. Okay, so 37.5 over 15. Let's see here, 15 can go into 37 twice. That gives me 30. Okay, 15 can go into 75 5 times. All right, again, that one gave me 2.5. And guess what? 50 over 20, the last one, is miraculously going to give us 2.5 as well. Okay, so my constant of proportionality, each time I divided my y and my x, it gave me 2.5. I got to write my equation. Remember, my equation says y equals my constant of proportionality k times x. So it is y equals 2.5 times x, and I'm done. All right, last example, example D. Okay, example D says the table below shows the number of points scored based upon the number of games played. Do the numbers in the table represent a proportional relationship? If so, write the equation. Okay, again, looking at the same thing. My k equals y divided by x. I'm doing the same thing every time. Okay, y is on bottom, x is on top. So let's start dividing. Okay, my first y is 4 over its x value, which is 2. All right, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this is the value I'm looking for. Okay, next one. My y is 5. My x is 3. Let's see here. 5 divided by 3. That goes in once. And as you can see, it's not going to give me 2. It's 1.6 repeating. So I can go ahead and say, after just checking the first two, it is not proportional. So my constant of proportionality, it is none. Okay, I don't have one. All right, so we've looked at tables, determined their constant of proportionality using the formula k equals, we're just doing y divided by x. Okay, and then knowing how a relationship is proportional or not. Well, when I divide, all of them have to be the same number. All right, now it's your turn to try. You need to make sure that when you're checking your answers in the spreadsheet, you go back, you're going to do it exactly like I did. Your constant of proportionality should be a number. Your equation should be y equals constant of proportionality times x. When you type this in, there are no spaces. So I would have typed in y equals 2.5x for my answer. Okay, and then when you're going through and you see a constant of proportionality and it doesn't have one, you just put in none. All right, please make sure you show your work on every single problem and then checking your answers in the spreadsheet.